All right. Thank you for rejoining my channel today. And if you're joining, thank you. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I did something on my channel not too long ago that was a little bit similar to this, where I did Disney couples reimagined by AI, but now I'm going to do just the Disney characters by themselves, reimagined with AI. But I made them look as much to real life as I could. And I think each of them turned out really, really well. I'd very much appreciate if you would leave a comment about which one of them is your favorite. If I got one wrong, please leave a comment on that. If you like the video, please like the video and please consider subscribing. Most of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, and I would appreciate it. Thank you. So first we have Snow White. Isn't she a cutie? Of course, we know that in the movie of Snow White, she's supposed to be 14, and this picture does not make her look 14. But I really like how this turned out. I think that she looks really good in this picture. And I did them in order of how the movies came out originally. So that is how these are going to be showing up. Then we've got Cinderella. I like her hair. I know generally we see her hair down or in a more simple do, but I don't know. I like how this one turned out. Each of them took multiple tries to get right, or how I particularly liked them. So just please keep that in mind, that each of these are multiple tries at the prompt that I put in. And then we've got Alice from Alice in Wonderland. She was probably one of my hardest ones to find one that I particularly liked. I think she looks a little mischievous and like she's about to go to the Mad Hatter's party. So that's why I ended up choosing this particular photo. And I tried to make them all look like portraits, like they're sitting down, maybe not sitting, but you know what I mean, like getting ready to take a portrait. Now we've got Peter Pan. I know in the movie he's got pointed ears, but again, we want this to look more real to life. And so I think he looks again like a mischievous little boy, getting ready to go have fun in his mystical land. Now we've got Wendy here, and doesn't she look adorable? I just want to pinch those little cheeks of hers. Ugh, that makes me sound so old, but she looks so cute. Now we've got Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell was also one of the harder ones that I had to do. So many of them would not show the wings, and if it showed the wings, they were like up in her hair, which this one kind of makes it look like they're up in her hair, but it also kind of makes it look like they're like going behind her back. So this is the one I finally settled on as being the best of the ones that I was given. So again, I think it turned out really well with the prompt that I gave it. So, you know. Now we've got Sleeping Beauty, or otherwise known as Aurora. Now you may ask why I did not do the princes. I don't, given the prompts that I was giving the AI, I don't think that each of the princes, though each of them had a name, are, I'm not saying that they're not important. I just don't think that they're different enough that it would have given me a different enough picture of each of them to include them. Sorry, princes of each of these stories. Now we've got Mary Poppins, which the first picture that it gave me looked more like the Mary Poppins from Mary Poppins Returns. And this was the second picture that it gave me, which I think looks more like the original Mary Poppins, which was what I was going for, was a Mary Poppins that looks more like the original Mary Poppins. So I'm not saying that Mary Poppins Returns was not a good movie. It was, but I have a soft spot for Julie Andrews in the original Mary Poppins. And now we've got Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Yes, I know it doesn't show the bottom half of her, where she's a fish, mermaid. But I think what it does show really gives this picture life and, shows, I think it shows enough for us to get an idea of her. And I really like it. It does show that she's under the sea. That looks like it's under the sea. So now we've got Belle. And I think hers turned out really well. It gives us the iconic yellow dress. Y'all, I tried so hard to do the Beast. I gave it Beast. Y'all, I gave it Beast. And yeah, no, it just did not. It did not. It just wouldn't. This was the first one where I could really give it a. I don't know that I'd call Aladdin a. Well, yeah, he would. Yeah, I guess he did end up being a prince. Okay, so where I could give it a prince and it gave me a picture. And I think Aladdin turned out looking really good. Like, yeah. He looks a good bit older than I think he does in the cartoon, but I think he looks good. And now we have Jasmine, which I want that dress, to be honest. And I love the hair, her curly hair. I know she has black hair in the cartoon, but I think this picture turned out really well. And now we have the Sanderson sisters. We've got Winifred, Sarah, and Mary. The only picture that I just think did not turn out the way I really wanted it to was Mary's, but Mary's was like the best of just 10 or 15 tries to get a good Mary picture. And I was just like done. Like, okay, this is just the best of what this prompt is going to give me. I think the other two turned out really well for the prompt that I gave it. And I think that they, look like they have witchy clothes on. So, yeah, maybe they don't look as old as they do in the movies, but, what are you going to do with that? There's only so much that the AI can do. Now we have Pocahontas. Do I know much about Indian heritage or anything like that? No, I don't. Do I know what Pocahontas looked like? No, I don't. But I know what this AI gave me, and I gave it the prompt of Disney's Pocahontas basically as a real life person. That's more or less what I told it to give me. And I think that it did a really good job of translating what Disney put on screen to, a real life person. So do with that what you may. Now we've got Quasimodo. Again, I know I don't have a lot of guys in here, but I think that look at that hair. Look how detailed that hair is. That is amazing. Yes, you can't quite see his hunchback, but I think that this picture does a really good job of capturing, Quasimodo as a real life person. Then we've got Esmeralda. Like, come on, y'all. This is Esmeralda as a real life person. She would definitely have a nose ring in real life, especially nowadays. But, if they had them back then, they probably did. She would definitely have a nose ring. And I love this dress that she's in. Just so much hair, too. And the man himself, Frollo. He was difficult, too. Like, they would give me these top hats on him. And we all know that he did not wear a top hat. He wore a hat very similar to this. It was a church, that little church hat. But this was the one that I could get that was similar enough to what he was wearing in the film that I was happy that this is what Frollo would look like in real life. And does he or does he not look menacing? Ugh. Stay away from me, you dirty, dirty man. Now we've got Hercules. Man, does he look buff. It was hard for me to get one where he did not look like, because in here he looks blue, and just, it was hard for me to find one where he just did not look crazy. And so this was like the best of the worst, I guess. So I think this one, for what it is, turned out good. And now we've got Magara, whatever her name is, his love interest in the movie, which in the myth is his first wife, which he killed, but, Disney does what it does. And I think I think it turned out really well. I think she actually looks pretty spot on to the movie. So, and now we have Mulan. This was the first picture that it gave me for the prompt, and I fell in love. This is amazing. I love it. I mean, you may hate it. You may have problems with it, but I loved it. And now we have Tarzan. Again, flawless. This was the first picture that it gave me when I put in the prompt for Tarzan in real life. Hello. He is hot. Now we have Captain Jack Sparrow. This was also the first picture that it gave me for Captain Jack Sparrow, and I was very pleased with this picture. Man, it would be awesome if Johnny Depp looked at that and he thought that that was good, but there's just no way that my silly little video would ever make it to him. But it'd be cool. All right, now we've got the cast of High School Musical of what AI thinks that their characters would look like in real life. Now we know what their characters looked like in real life, so you know, you can tell me if you think that these AI created characters looked like the characters in High School Musical. I personally think that the Troy, Gabriella, Sharpay, and Chad ones are eerily similar to what High School Musical had for the cast members. Ryan's is off enough that it's not, similar. And Taylor's, it's similar, but yeah, again, it's off enough that it's not the same. But yeah. For Troy, Gabriella, definitely Chad, and Sharpay, hers is enough that I could definitely see that is similar enough to Sharpay in the High School Musical universe. But tell me what you think. Maybe I'm just seeing things. This is what the AI thought that Carl from Up would look like in real life. This was the first picture that it gave me for it as well, and I was tickled. I thought that this one looked so good, and I think this is how he would look at the end of the movie. Obviously, not at the beginning of the movie when he's all sad, and we all know why he's sad. But I think this is how he would look at the end of the movie when everything is done and over, and he's working with, he's all happy. All right. Now we've got Tiana. And I really like this. And all I did was put in her first name. I just put in Tiana, and it put her in that princess green dress with the beautiful jewelry and everything. And I thought that it turned out really well. But again, maybe I'm biased. And then we've got Prince Naveen. His ethnicity was, dubious at best in the movie. So it's dubious at best in this photo. But I think that he looks pretty darn good in this picture. I think he definitely looks like a prince, even though he's not wearing a crown. But he didn't even really wear his crown all that much in the movie either. So, take that with take that however you want to. Now we've got Rapunzel. And I think that dress is almost exactly the dress that she wore in the movie. But it's been a little bit since I've seen it, so I could be wrong. Other than that, I think that, it's pretty spot on to how Rapunzel looks. You can't see how long her hair is. You definitely can see that it goes down her back. You can't see quite how long it is, but, you don't have to. You can just assume that it's quite long. But I think it looks good. Now we've got Princess Merida from Brave. Most of you probably never saw the movie. If you did see the movie, you probably think it sucks. I can't blame you if you think it sucks. I'm one of those suckers who I'm in it just for a good story. And for the characters and things like that. And I think Brave had a decent story, and the characters were, what really sold me on that story. So I don't hate it. But I think that this picture really captures Merida with her bushy red hair. Now, the outfit I'm not so sure about, but with the hair and the eyes, I think that it just really just sells her. Then we've got Elsa with her signature blue dress and her braid down one side of her shoulder. This is after she's let it go, let it go. Yeah, no, don't tell me. I just love to sing. I can't help it. But I like how this one turned out a lot. I was not as happy with Anna's, but again, this was after a few tries of trying to get Anna to look right, and this was just the best I could get. But the outfit looks really good. It's just I couldn't get the face to look right, but it was the best I could get, All right, now we've got Maleficent. This was after a couple of tries of getting Maleficent. And I don't know, I think it looks, she looks scary. I definitely wouldn't want to run across her in a dark alley. But this is how she would look in real life. Would she have the green skin? I don't know. Does she paint it on? Maybe. But either way, she's scary. Then we've got Moana. Doesn't she look good? According to AI. Like, this is amazing. Love it. Just love it. That turned out so good. All right, and this is my last one where I did the entire Encanto family in a family tree. All right, so we start off at the top with Abuela Alma. Again, this is what they would look like as real life people. So again, they don't look like their cartoon counterparts, but what their cartoon counterparts would look like as human people. Then down and furthest to the left, we've got Bruno, and then Julieta, and then Peppa. And yes, I know Peppa has like auburn, almost, auburn hair, almost red. But again, this was the closest I could get to where I was just really happy with what I had at the end. And I think she looks good. And then down one more all the way to the left, we start off with Luisa. And then we've got Isabella. And then we've got Mirabel. And then we've got Dolores, Camilo, and Antonio. Again, you can tell me what you think of each of my the AI's rendering of the Encanto family. I personally like each of them, especially Antonio. He looks so cute. And I think they all turned out really well based on the prompt that I gave the computer. So that is the end. And I thank you for joining me. Again, please consider subscribing. I have plenty more videos, and there'll be more content. So you don't know what you're missing. Thank you. Bye.